Hi, today we're going to talk about what does it take to stay healthy in the second half of life, and it might surprise you. So let's talk about that. Hi, my name is Jeanette, and welcome to my Further Journey Aging on Purpose channel. Today we're going to be talking about our health and what it takes to stay healthy, especially in the second half of life. Well, we have three big items to spend in the second half of life. And it's money, time, and energy. And what I found and was kind of surprised at how much time, energy, and money it takes to stay healthy in the second half of life. I'm not talking about all the time it takes to set up doctor's appointments and go to doctor's appointments and follow-up appointments, although there is that too. But on your own, when you have control of your time, energy, and money, how are you spending that, and is it working towards your health? I want to talk about each one of those. So the first one is time. Why does staying healthy take so much time? In second half of life, the exercise I got running around, being active, seemed to be enough to keep me healthy. But in second half of life, I have to be much more intentional about how I use my time, and that some of that time needs to be spent being healthy. That means setting aside time for exercise and setting aside time to go to the gym if that's what it takes, or setting up an exercise routine in my home that I will actually follow. For me, going to the gym helps because then I have a designated time to do that. Also, the other thing that takes a lot of time is eating well and eating right. Now, everybody is going to decide what's right for them. But for me, it's avoiding processed food. And that means I am cooking and preparing all my meals myself. I'm not just going to the freezer and pulling out a ready-to-eat meal that all I have to do is pop it in the microwave. That is very time-saving, but it doesn't produce good health for me. So I've made that decision that part of my time is going to be spent going to the grocery store and pulling out the things that are going to be good for me that I can eat, that don't take forever to cook, though sometimes it does seem like that way, and making my own meals. That takes a lot of time. So it takes time to be healthy. Also, energy and the motivation. I'm going to put energy and motivation kind of together, because if I'm motivated to do something, I can usually find the energy to do it. So as I've talked about, it takes a lot of energy to go to the gym, to exercise, to do the walks, whatever it is that you choose to stay healthy. That takes time. And we really need to put it in our calendar. We do. We put it in our calendar the days we're going to the gym. And we stick to that pretty closely. Now, sometimes it gets interrupted, and maybe we add a Saturday instead of a Friday. But we really try to get to the gym 3 times a week, and that's a big part of our time. It's probably a good hour and a half of any day that we are spending time going to the gym. And I mentioned eating, that it takes time to cook your own meals. And that's what we've chosen to do because it affects our health. In a previous video, I talked about functional longevity. We want to live well, not necessarily long. That means I have to spend my time and my energy to staying healthy. I don't know if I could do it if I wasn't retired. It really takes bandwidth, what I call bandwidth, mind space, to focus on staying healthy. And then there's money. It might be cheaper to buy prefab food, manufactured food. I don't know, but it's not healthy. So we make the choice to spend our money buying grass-fed beef, buying fish and chicken that hasn't been frozen, food that is organic in nature, not everything, but some key parts of our diet needs to be organic. And that takes more money. So I'm choosing to use my money to stay healthy. And that's true emotionally as well. Where we spend our time, how we spend our time, and sometimes the money it takes to do that. I need to travel in order to stay healthy. And so that's where I put a lot of my money, is travel. But it's worth it for me because that's part of my health routine. So time, energy, and money, it takes all of that to stay healthy in second half of life. So how are you spending your time, energy, and money? Are you doing it for your health? There's a lot of other things calling for our time, energy, and money, as you know. And some of them are well worth spending, even if they don't contribute to our health. But we do need to also prioritize our health. Let me know how that's working for you. And let's start a discussion. Like and subscribe if you will, and I'll see you in the next video.